Oh, I am live, apparently, and good evening and welcome to Sunday Live with John Joe. I hope I'm getting good sound out there. Can you give me a sound check? Yeah, I think I'm getting out early. Oh yeah, sort of. The monitoring laptop was not muted. We get feedback if we do that. Okay, who have we got here? We got Rob's radio channel. Good evening, Rob. How are you? We have White Sapphire. Good evening, all from York Hospital. I hope you're okay, White Sapphire. No need to fill us in on the details, but we send best wishes, obviously. Will 1985, which is a new name in the chat. Good evening and welcome. John Bjocamp. I don't think we've had you in the chat either. Welcome aboard. Good to have new names. Let me see. Who else have we got here? We have Richard 100. Good evening, sir. Yes. Jerry BVR. Evening all. Hope everyone is keeping well. Yes. Best wishes to everyone out there. So, what to talk about tonight? I don't really have much to talk about tonight. I have been very busy, and there have been massive developments. Massive developments on this front. But I'm going to save all that information for another day. We'll be talking in the near future. But, John Bjorkham. We have met at Retrotech and at Mike Bayes earlier this year. Very good. Okay. How are you doing? Neil's Old Radios is here as well. Good evening, sir. Great to have a few. It looks like it's going to be a good live stream. We've 13 with 7 thumbs up. I wonder if Roundy Mooney will be in or not. Roundy Mooney could be very busy because that severe storm that we had last week is still affecting parts of Ireland. Electricity shortages. So, no, Cat, if you do that, you're going to fall and knock everything down. Right? Try and think sensibly, kid. Anyway, yes, it's going to do its old trick where it walks across the keyboard now, aren't you, Jenny? This is a probably formal dog kitten now at this stage. Going to be getting neutered soon, aren't we? We won't like that, but it will save us a lot of hassle. Where was I? Yes, Roundy Mooney could be very busy trying to restore electricity to people. Where's the Christmas lights we were promised? Well, surely, White Sapphire, you need to look closer at your telephone screen. I presume you're on a telephone screen if you're in optical. We have a very small smattering of Christmas lights. The vintage Pifco set has been pressed into service. Now, this is sort of that Christmas light set is a bit like Johnny Cash's car. There's bits of everything in it, but it's very nice nonetheless. Bits of bulbs I've picked up here and there. We got the set, but I had about 6 or 7 smashed bulbs in it, and over the years we just kept our eyes out for replacement bulbs, and eventually we gathered up enough bulbs, and we have 1 or 2 spare, and we are running the set through a diode, so that's dropping a bit of current. So they're being underrun a little bit. Still blue on last year though, even with being underrun. So yeah, we've more Christmas lights which we'll put up. We just didn't have time. We've been very busy. Rob's radio channel inquires, did you have much damage with the storm? We did not. Thankfully, there was no damage to our property at all. Next door neighbours, a couple of trees came down. But no, nothing too bad, thank God. We were expecting, but no, everything, we got away with it. So, not that we don't have much high structures or that here. Do cats have to be microchipped by law in Ireland? Not cats. Dogs, yes, but cats, no. There's no license for a cat or anything for a cat, so no, they don't have to be checked by law, but it is recommended. Obviously, if they get lost or whatnot, that you can find said cat. Parts of the country got it bad, Arjun. They certainly did. Yeah, I was down in Wicklow on the last Saturday morning. Was it last Saturday? Yes, last Saturday morning I was down in Wicklow, and I was going through a town called Blessington, and the roof had blown off a shop out onto the street and pulled all the wires down. So it was quite bad. So yeah, it was I would say it's one of the worst storms we've had in a long time. I know we've had a few windy nights in the last couple of years, but yeah, no, that was a very severe storm. Very severe. So unfortunately, White Sapphire won't be having any tipples this evening. I hope you straighten you out and get you back out quick. Do you want some beer? No, cats don't drink lager. Work continues on the Bush TV 62. So we have a full raster now. And next issue is to move on to no sound. Well, very low sound. But the sound output stage itself has proven to be relatively innocent of this. So it's getting killed further back. It depends if they can fix what's broken. Yeah, the heart thing is not good. Not good. The man that I always tell everyone about here that I work with, John, at the TV shop, he had a triple bypass in 1987, I think it was. And it took him about 6 or 7 years to fully recover. But he did. And he lived to be 86, so it can work out. There was a lot of damage done to electric network in there. Yes, I was off for 24 hours and off again since midnight last night until 4:30 today for some reason. Oh dear. Ray Bourne, how are you, John, and everyone? And underscore. I'll take the underscores here, hiding somewhere. Good to have you aboard, Ray. Hope you're keeping well. Keeping all them CB lunatics on the air, all right. Yes, indeed. I don't know if anyone has been following. Yeah, all is well here, thanks. Yeah, all is going okay. We just need more time. We need a machine to make time. We keep saying that, it's starting to sound like a broken record, but it just is. There aren't enough hours in the day. So you have to choose what you spend your time on wisely. I couldn't let you be a blue spanner, Rob, I'm afraid. I'd love to, but we'd only end up upsetting Roundy. You're a blue spanner on Radio Cruncher's channel, I'm sure. Thank you very much, by the way, Rob. I appreciate that. Where was I? I can't remember what I was saying. I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, time and all that. Yeah, but yeah. Massive developments here. So keep your eyes peeled over the next couple of weeks, or maybe months. But there's going to be a big announcement in the YouTube channel. So easy knowing it's mild tonight. The white coat is off. Indeed, it is mild. I don't even have the heat on in here tonight. Well, I had it on for half an hour. Yeah, it's 17 degrees in here. It's just 10.5 degrees outside, so we're doing quite well. Where is Roundy? I think he's off fixing people's electricity. I would imagine. Yeah, he's kept going. So yes, work continues on the Bush TV 62, and I hope to get an hour of that maybe tomorrow even. Get that up and going. We have a raster. We have to sort out brightness, contrast, and we'll see how we get on. Have you fixed the diesel here? I have not fixed the diesel here. That's another thing I need to do. And I will be purchasing another diesel here in the near future. I need a second one now. Meeps Music. Hey, Odge Nudge. Hope you're doing great. P.S. Please don't make me blue either. I'm crazy. Lol. Okay. Yes. Spanners are like politicians. Everyone wants one. Anyone who wants to be one is the very one you should lock. Good bad, Jerry. Oh, there. No, we have to leave that with Roundy Mooney. That's his job. And of course, Mrs. Odge Nudge is a blue spanner holder as well, of course. Yes. Just kidding at Rob's radio channel, indeed. Yes, so lots to do here. Lots of things are going to get done in the future. No, looking forward to seeing this TV 62 up and running properly. It'll be good. They are quite nice, I would say. They're not the easiest to work on. I'm in the UK, by the way, born in Liverpool, but lived in Plymouth since '85. That's why I went crazy. Well, I can understand that. Plymouth. The little cat. Right. Go on, little cat. Go and play. Indeed. So, I think we'll do a couple of polls. Keep the thing going. Cool cat. Yeah, she is a lovely cat, yeah. That is Jenny the cat. Jenny helps us here in the workshop, don't you, Jenny? Yes. You sure do. Let's do a poll. Polls are always good. What do you Thank you, Kat. There's an easy one. Who here has worked in the TV trade? Vote now, vote early, vote often. Jim Simpson loves a power. Good man, Jim. Jim's just the business. Yes, Kat. Yes. Are you okay, Kat? What have you got to say about it, Kat? blood knows. Do you know any way to do something about image burn-in on CRT tubes? Unfortunately not. Replacement is the only cure. Replacement is the only cure. Yeah, once the phosphor gets, and even when they were regunning, there was a crowd called RACS, RACS, in France, and they were rebuilding the CRTs up until about 15 years ago, and in the end they ended up specialising in vintage ones like this, and they were regunning and rebuilding pre-war ones and whatnot, ones that didn't have ion traps or aluminization on the phosphors, and the ion burn will be in the phosphor, right? So what they did is they started re-phosphoring the tubes. So they take the neck off and they fill it up with a solution and rinse it around and wash the phosphor off the face of the tube, re-phosphor it, put the new stuff in the solution and wash it around, and then pour out the water and whatever solution and the phosphor stuff to glass, right? That's grand. So you have a new phosphor, but the ion burn had actually darkened the glass itself, so it was still there even with the phosphor changed, which was interesting. But now I'm afraid there's nothing to be done with phosphor burn. Once it's gone, it's gone. Meeps Music says there was a film that featured Jenny in the 40s. Portrait of Jenny, a great film about a time traveling ghost. Is a piano key type tape recorder or video recorder at the back of you? Let me see. You let me turn around. Huh? What have I got behind me? Huh? It's neither. It's a tape recorder. Oh yeah, this is a tape recorder. Not a tape recorder. Yes, it's a Sony tape recorder. So I really must bust up the couple of CRTs I have to get rid of them. And they're old arcade games. Yeah, they're no use. Now, in saying that, if you had no CRT and you wanted to demonstrate something, one with a burnt tube is going to be better than nothing at all, which is something to bear in mind. Patrick Bourne is here as well. Good evening, Paddy. We will end the poll. I'm sure anyone who wanted to vote has voted. "19 votes, 20% of people have worked in the TV trade. That means what? 4 people. About that. Very good. These music, Ferguson TX, frame chips, etc. Basic stuff. Very good. Oh, well, then we count you as it in the TV trade. You didn't have to be a TV engineer, by the way. You could have been an aerial rigger, or you could have been sweeping the floor in a TV shop, just if you were in the trade. That's all. I wanted to when I was young, but it all became disposable sets. Indeed. The only thing about most people who are in the TV trade went on to do other things in electronics. The skills are interchangeable, which is good. Richard 100 said he starts off with DER in the early 80s. Steve Walters inquires, have I fixed the frame collapse fault on the bus yet? I have, yes. Video coming out in the near future when I finish making it. Ended up working for Sony. What were they like to work for? Oh, you want the scratches and cuddles and rubs. Isn't that right, Cat? Meow. Meow. Yeah, I'm not eat you. Oh, George, I popped a bid on a Sony ICF 2001. Oh, very good. Sadly, the labour costs more than the new set these days. Indeed. Um, another Powell. Starting the poll. This is something interesting that's going on at the minute on YouTube. So, for those of you who aren't aware, Mendon Mark is this dude on YouTube who repair stuff. If you look a really good version of me, if you could imagine me with a proper workshop and know what I'm doing, that's Mendon Mark. Anyway, he works on hi-fi stuff and all this kind of shit. And he got this very, 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 very ridiculously expensive preamplifier thing in for repair. And the people who made it ground off the numbers inside and all that kind of stuff and wouldn't give out service information and whatnot. He reverse engineered it to a degree, and this greatly angered. This greatly angered the manufacturer, and so on and forth. So anyway, there's been a whole debacle about it and whatnot. This video did get taken down, but then everyone else. Tommy Hanlon's here. Good evening, Tommy. I left the trade when the sets became disposable, but I still restore vintage valve sets. Good man. I love some of the work that Michael Dranfield does. Absolutely, Michael's a gentleman. He may very well pop into the live stream tonight. He often does. If he has time or if he's at home, he usually pops in for a few minutes to say hello. Hello, boys and girls on YouTube. Michael Dranfield here. Absolute gentleman. We hope to make a visit to his place again in the near future. Meets Music. You saw the video when I went to see Michael. Yeah. That was a great day out. And I've been there since as well. We've had 2 trips to Michael Dranfield so far. And we hope we'll have more trips in the future. We had hoped to get over there this last October, just gone. But family pressures and other commitments ended up killing that idea. But perhaps in the summer we'll get there. I'm buying proper cameras, start making more videos on YouTube, fixing stuff. Good man, Rob. And the video's gone off Odyssey now. Yeah, but a load of other people are after putting the video up, including the American dude, whose name I should know off the top of my head. He does all the Apple stuff. Rossman, of course, Louis Rossman, yes. Louis Rossman stuck the video up on his channel and then basically dared your man to try and take legal action against him for putting the video up. Louis Rossman takes on Apple and whatnot and has spoken in Congress about the right to repair things. So I wouldn't be picking a row with him. That man knows how to handle himself. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, 50% of the people watching this thing tonight are aware of what's going on. Yeah, felt it was unfair on our man, Mendip Mark, because he seems to be a fairly genuine character. Just doing his best, and whatnot. Even Mendip Mark could not understand why his video was taken out. No. I saw both of them. I tend to binge out on videos like this, but I was homeless for a little while and living in my mate's back room. But now back on track with a house again. Good man. Yeah, not a nice place to be, but fair play to you. You put the effort in, you can always get yourself out of that sort of a jam, but it's not easy. Right to repair is an issue in automotive from farm equipment. I know because I'm a mechanic in my day job. I'm well aware of the nonsense that goes on. We have 33 watching with 18 likes. So, you know what to do, people. Hit that thumbs up button if you can. It does help the thing or whatever. It does something. I don't know what it does, but it helps. Alan Horst is here. Good evening, Alan. How are you? I hope you're keeping well. It is raining here to save and believe it or not. Quite a wet evening. The wee cat is completely obsessed with me. I don't know about that. She just knows I'm the one that gives her food. Isn't that right? Yes, yes. Anything new on the workbench? You haven't been following the story here, remember. Bush TV 62. Nothing we can't handle. Halfway through. More videos coming soon. The usual. Frame collapse, leaky caps. Nonsense. How are you anyway? Studio Workshop? Indeed. Saw part 1 and 2. Good man. You're up to speed, so well, that's about it. There is going to be other developments here, but they're going to be in a few weeks / months. But yeah, things are going to change around here. Hopefully for the better. Yeah. So, Studio Workshop, how's life going in your YouTube world? / day job fixing shit. Are you fixing anything interesting for people this weather? I can certainly do anything if you put your mind to it. It's just a matter of making it happen. A back injury, oh dear. I hope you get over that. Getting things out the door before I wrap up on the 20th. Good man. Do you have a separate shop that you work from, or are you working from home? I must say, it is a nice little workshop that you have. Saying that, it looks like a tidy little spot. I'm restricted with space, which is a massive problem. Didn't RGB mod one of those Philips Discoverer sets? Oh, yeah. Don't see too many of them in my neck of the woods these days. There used to be loads of them around at one time. So, obviously, all gone to the sky. You've 29 viewing there with 26 thumbs up. Working from home, it's a summer house in the garden. Love your workshop. Mine is a bit overcrowded. Mine is well overcrowded. I'm climbing over stuff here at the minute. So that is going to change in the near future. Constructed shelves in the back room. Very good. Of the house to use as a storage space. Yes. Yes, storage. Well, I probably have more square footage than you. So this is a 10 foot by 20 foot shed. Shiplap, garden type shed. Really. That's what it is. Although we insulated it. And we did plasterboard on the walls. And this is 1/4 inch plywood on the ceiling. So it's good. It holds the heat in quite well. It's never terribly cold in here. Then we've a 10 foot by 20 foot shipping container. The other side of the garden, which has shelving in it, which there's a lot of stuff living in there. Yeah, no, the workshop here is quite warm. Quite warm, yeah. Too warm in summer, man. Yeah. Now, space is an issue, but then common sense is an issue too. Because you get stuff and then you get more stuff, but then you need more space. But yeah, no, it's quite good. Tidy workshop is a sign of a sick mind. Yeah, but you have to be semi-tidy at least. Well, I guess this stage you can't find anything. It becomes a bit of a bollocks. Rob's Rain Channel says, I'm also started running. I'm training for the Dublin Marathon. Hopefully next year. I got fired from work last week. Shy. I ran 29 km last week. Wasn't able to do much. Hopefully he accept me back to work again. Fucking, there's plenty of work out there. Wow, thanks very much. Studio 4. Look, that's great. The capacitor fund. Well, we never turned down a capacitor fund. Thank you. Fair play to you. Let's see. Didn't work on this way. There we go. Many thanks. I'm trying to remember, have we ever met at the NVCF? I think you said you were going to try and make it up, but did you? I can't. No, I've had, like you say, and when I'm at the NVCF, I meet so many people. It's hard to keep track. I'm not sure if you made it like this year or not. Many thanks. Maybe if I'm in London, I'll make a trip to your workshop and we'll make a video together. That'd be good. I think I've spelled that wrong as well. It's terrible what happened to the brain. Did that work? I think so. Technology. Anyway. Oh, go away. Come on, update. We have the chipmunk. Oh no, we don't. We have a blank screen. What's happened? Ah. Right. Okay, we're back. Good evening, all fellow Sunday live stream viewers. Computer's acting a maggot. It's never good. Right. I can hear. You hear me hard drive making that hard drivey noise. I have a solid state one to go into it, but we need to get back to that. Now, let me get back into that, and I will be as quick as I can. I ran up Bellewstown Hill twice that day. I don't know. Well, I know Bellewstown Hill, and Bellewstown Hill is about 3 miles long, and it's like that, you know, like that. It's really steep at the end. When I was in 7, we used to drive home crazy because of bringing in all TVs, radios. I love it. Rob, what do you do for a day job anyway that you got sacked from? I was impressed with Radio Hunter's spreadsheet the other day where he was able to locate a fuse holder in his many boxes in the live stream. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be going that far, but what I will say is I'm going to have space to pull up all these bloody component drawers out of John's TV shop. I've been sitting under the bench there for far too long, and I'm sure I've had to buy parts that I actually have in stock. So it will be interesting. You and I never met, I'm afraid. No, I had a feeling we didn't. I was going to turn up at Retrotech, etc., but I'm afraid life got in the way. Always welcome, Maljan. Nice cuppa and chat TVs. Yeah, we can do that. I'm back again. Have I missed much? Not a lot. Being very busy. Long story short, I have tinnitus. Oh, that's a bastard. I had temporary tinnitus, if you like, a few years ago. It went away, but I do have hearing damage. So listen, a lot of spoken word stuff under the pillow. Built a booster amp this afternoon to boost the volume. Works a treat. Feeling good about myself once more. Good man. Cup of tea. Yeah, well, I knew it. Where's the kitten and where's the official cow? The official cow is here, and the kitten was lying on it. Mark Graham, our friend from Germany, is in the chat. Helping out on a building site with my next door neighbour. Well, you're probably working too cheap for the start, so, you know, labour should be getting at least $125 a day this way. Fun trying to climb scaffolding the next day, sore legs, I can imagine. Niels O'Reilly says, the best way to find a part you've got in stock is order 10 on. Yeah, I've done that. I've done that. Although it's generally nothing very expensive anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Hi all, late as usual. I hope you're all doing well. Noel Conway, good evening, sir. White Sapphire says better late than never, and that is very true. 32 watching with 27 thumbs up. You know what to do if you're here. Neeps, time for my rest. I've been up and on the go since 5 UK time. Piss. I had bad tinnitus, had a broken tooth root removed. Hadn't had it since. Now that is very interesting. I ran up Bellewstown Hill today. It's easy now to run up it. Good man. Oh, you'll be well able for the marathon if you heat that up. I used to do a bit of running, but it's something I need to get back into actually. But yes, I subbed in another lifetime. Like, good man. I had me in 30 years crept. Jim Simpson had 30 years crept up on me over time. Screeching high pitched whistle. Take care, Meeps, and thanks for calling in. Super stuff. Take care. Good night. Isn't it? What kind of equipment do you work on during the day, Joe? I work on buses. Fix buses. Mostly. But, yeah, I have a bit of a job fixing buses, which is an interesting, rewarding job. And never dull. Always a new challenge every day. Deaf in your left ear. Oh God. It's hard to win. The old hearing is a factor. Now I have, of course, been exposed to loud noises from old timer buses or modern. Well, both actually. Both. But well, 80% modern, 20% oldie schoolie. Alan, mine's are about 800. I like the old girls though because they're easier to get going. They're more reliable. There's no electronic-y stuff to go wrong on them. ABS and AdBlue and ECU door controllers and all sorts of shite. You just don't have with the old buses. They just go or don't go. Get down, cat. I bet odds old buses are better than new computer buses today. They are indeed. Buses are cool. Use them all the time. Man. Yeah, they're interesting, alright. I see Jenny has taken over. Doesn't the cat long to take charge of? She certainly does long to. Buses always smell the stale fag smoke. Indeed, they did. Then the people getting into them stunk of fags. That's where it was coming from. I'm saying that we may have smoked the odd cigarette on our bus in our time before we got sense and stopped all that. Most new technologies today, you have to control them by computer if things go wrong. Yeah, computers, technology, nonsense certainly plays a big part. Yes, the ceilings in the buses used to be always yellow from the cigarette smoke. Hey, yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, that's the. I remember someone saying that to us years ago. Should the computers do all that now? Yeah, well, the computer doesn't really. It doesn't. Like a little robot doesn't come out and take the wheels off and change the caliper or whatever. I live 10 minutes walk away from the Alexander Dennis workshops. At the park at the side of Alexander Dennis is full of electric buses. Hmm. Joe King. Hello, Joe. How's it going? Been a long time. Watching you in Taunton, Somerset. Lovely. Merry Christmas. And the same to you, Joe. Are you staying over there for Christmas? I think you have your daughter over there. Isn't that right? Is she a nurse? Something like that. I hope you're keeping well, Joe. How's business treating you? Oh, they move quick off the mark, all right. But you have to keep them moving quick off the mark. That's where the tricky stuff comes in, Chipmunk. Now, I don't have much experience of electric buses. I don't think I will anytime soon. But no, lie down, lie down, lie down. Let me see. Have you seen many electric cars catching fire today, Algernon? Not today, but certainly there are tales of them going up, all right. As I tell him, mate, on your first day, they hand you free clothes and the bus pass. I replaced a computer programmer from a food mixer of all things with a three-position switch, momentary in one direction, latching in the other, and a label pulse off on. And I needed a computer in there to do all that. That's the problem, all this stuff is too cheap. So why not put it in there? You do wonder how it makes sense to make everything so complicated now. I had a load of 8-bit home computers once. I'm very sorry now I didn't keep them. Yeah. Built-in obsolescence is certainly a thing. Yes. Manufacturer's information, which we discussed there a few minutes ago with the Mendip Mark scandal, is certainly another thing. And it certainly is built-in obsolescence. Absolutely. Are the BBC Micros making good money now? And the other one, the Commodore 64, whatever you call it. I'm not a computer buff. It's not something I've ever gotten involved with. Fixed a few hardware issues on them, all right. But after that, no. Computers aren't my thing as such. A friend of mine looks after my computery techie end of things. The last thing is we had trams covering most of the city. That is true. No, we've nearly got trams covering most of the city again. But yeah, we had one of the best trams setups in the world in Dublin. Trams whizzing around all over the place. I do a bit of both. Could probably have fixed the programmer in the mixer, but easier just to install a switch. Just put the switch. Just put the switch in. That's what John Joe will be doing. Switch time. crazy stuff altogether. I have thought electric traction would work well with buses because they can always be charged overnight and have predictable mileage. Yeah, I think they're getting on top of it. They're getting on top of it, but it's not sorted yet. Take a look at an EV. The battery is stupidly low in a lot of them. It is. Elon Musk plots 20 trillion megatunnel connecting UK and New York. That'd be interesting, all right, wouldn't it? Though the heating would be a problem at this time of year. Yes, it can be, all right. Yeah, the fast chargers at stops and stuff like that. Yeah. Modern valve amps, in my opinion, are some of the worst constructed things. Valves, cheap sockets mounted on PCBs, with pins bent over to the pad side of the board. Yeah, lots of weak points, and I'd agree with you. I'm seeing some of the newer stuff, and it's pure muck. 2 lines, JJ. We previously had lines covering most of the city. Well, that's what I said. We had one of the greatest tram networks in Europe, if not the world. Yeah, it's interesting stuff. You'd wonder where it's all going to go. Elon Musk running the show with Trump and all this kind of stuff. But we'll stay away from all that kind of thing. Yeah. Southampton still has the Lucy control boxes for the tram network dotted around. Some of them still got power even. Brilliant. Cheap socket connecting pins mashing up, yeah, absolutely. Neil's on radio says the studio workshop. I think this is because they are sold as high-end stuff and people will overpay. Similar to the man that Mark was working on, which had an interesting internal construction. It was weird, wasn't it? I think if I was paying that kind of money, I wouldn't want it to be in a perspex box for a start. Surely you'd want, a heavy steel construction for good earthing and shielding. No? That's interesting, Tommy. I wasn't aware of that. They removed the control gear, John Joe, and fitted sub fuses for traffic lights and stuff. Ah. Jerry PVR's away. Jerry. Take it easy, Jerry. We'll see you during the week. If not next Sunday. Yeah. What days do I be live? I couldn't say, Rob. Just whenever I get a chance. And I probably won't be doing too much live stuff during the week. I'll be too busy making proper videos about televisions and things. Powell time, just for the crack. And good night again to Jerry BVR. Jerry the cat. Okay. The good girl. Yeah. Ah, the Rowdy Mooney. Good man, Rowdy. Always good to have you here. Super. Well, of course he is South African. Yes, we shouldn't. Easy to conflate the issue. Now, it is super to have the Rowdy Mooney here. A little power for you, just for the crack. Are you a licensed radio amateur? Interesting. People are voting often and voting early. You know where this is heading. Nice South African. KA1YXE. Where's KA from? I'd love to get a radio license. Where can you get that done? In Ireland, Nodge. You can get in touch with your local amateur radio club and Google IRTS for more information. KA is USA. That's terrible. Now, I'm a licensed radio amateur, but I've never been overly active, mind you. I more got it because it was sort of playing around with little QRP rigs and that, so I wanted to be able to go on air for signal reports and stuff, but don't like should I get a license? I'd only get a license if you're interested in it. Otherwise there's no real reason to. Yes, the cat likes to do that sometimes. Swan John says, tried years ago but couldn't get to grips with the Morse. Well, you don't need the Morse now. So, I don't have the Morse. Doesn't bother me all that much. Knocking a letter off the call sign doesn't bother me. It does with some people, but I'm not all that interested. Be fun contact people on the radio. Yeah. But be warned, it's not as much fun as you might think. because a lot of people are just into competitions, which I despise now personally. Bloody radio competitions. You're never too old, Chipmunk. If you want to do something, do it. No, it's not who can Morse code the quickest. The competitions are how many contacts can you make in a certain set period of time. No, two-stroke diesels are long, long gone, Tommy. No, they're using the Leyland don't exist anymore. Leyland closed in '93, so I hadn't made engines for quite a few years before that. No, they're using Cummins engines now, mainly. BB Junkie says that ARL 10-meter contest this weekend. Super. Super. Not for me. No, it doesn't. What I liked about the amateur radio was you go on and just have a nice QSO with someone, you know. You talk about interesting things and have a nice conversation. Competitions, on the other hand, where you just sort of you give your call sign, your number in the competition or whatever, a signal report, which for some reason, even if you can't hear them, is always going to be 5 and 9, and then you say goodbye, and then you move on to the next one, and you do that. You sit in a chair for 48 hours doing that. I'm more interested in ultra long distance communication with CW. Well, of course, that's certainly good, alright. If you go to Bletchley Park, the RSGB have a great setup there. I'd say they do. RSGB. Although there's a lot of political stuff going on in the RSGB as well, and disgruntled people. And the same for the IRTS too. There's a lot of disgruntlement in the IRTS and stuff. So I've always said, and will continue to say, clubs, groups and societies should be avoided. They're not for me anyway. Radio clubs in general are like that. Have I got a scrap UHF valve or transistor set with I'm gonna say that should say saw filter, IF and tuner. Looking for one to incorporate into my homemade set, a bit like one from one of those Bush Dual standard valve sets, etc. Oh. We wouldn't have any separate. Oh, sorry, yes, separate. I'd say. Oh yeah, no, that makes more sense. Separate IF and tuner. I don't have any I can part with them, I'm afraid. They're all connected to televisions. Yeah, separate. Super autocorrect. I don't think so, but leave it with me. Although I'm sure you'll probably find one over there quicker than I get one here. But if I come across something that may be of use, I'll let you know. I might have something from a Pi. Are you familiar with the Pi IF panel? It was in that colour, and yeah, I can't part with that for A640s, I'm afraid. That won't be happening. But Pi IF panel, which is solid state, and it was in the 368, and it was also in the 697 colour set. um, I would have one. There was an article in one of the TV magazines about it, where it was used as part of a crude spectrum analyzer, but it was used to drive a display on a scope. I had a fella get in touch with me years ago about this, but at the time I wasn't give it to him. But it also was more the fact that your man annoyed me so much. He sent me about 20 emails over the space of 2 days. And when I hadn't replied to him, he then joined the UK Vintage Radio Forum and sent me a whole load of private messages there. And then when I didn't get back to him there, because I was offline for a few days, he tried to get me through the Galborn then as well. So I was just like, no, I can't help you, pal. And that was the end of that. No, and you're right. Don't waste your time building your own. No, that pie panel I'm telling you about could be ideal. Actually, they're quite versatile. Um, I might have one here somewhere. I can't remember. I might come across it in the next couple of months. Yeah, yeah. Well, you'll get them, but that's the worst of doing business, isn't it? Always. Once you're out there in the public domain, you're open to all sorts of shit. And I've had all sorts of shit, believe it or not. Um, but yeah, that's a good idea, Chipmunk. Um, I must send you some of my bits and pieces. You might get content out of them, or at least a play. Oh yeah. Well, look around you. I think you're due a visit here. But not yet. As I was telling people earlier on the live stream, but you might have missed. There's been massive developments in the background here in the last couple of days, and this will become more apparent. Um, what's happening in the next couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. But yeah, and you're certainly welcome to visit at some stage in the spring. Maybe you'll be up around this neck of the woods. Bluetooth board with integrated op amp, FM based on TEA 5710, again with op amp, and the pantry TX again with Bluetooth or 3.5. Oh, I like the sound of all that. Now tell me this: is this Bluetooth module that you use and so far? Is this of your own design, or is this one of the other ones? I know your man down in the Canary Islands, he has some sort of a board as well that he makes. 99% of customers are lovely indeed. I have a form which states my response times, etc. I had one guy cold call me if I didn't reply within a few hours, or sending him one message to me, etc. Yeah, they're unreal. I should return in the near future. Cat, you're in charge. Now, I should be back in colour. Paint job on that sailing is amazing. Thank you very much. That would be ideal. I'm definitely doing retro tech this year. I certainly hope to do so as well. I haven't missed one for a long time. That's a good idea. Those old iPhone, iPad docking speakers. Remember the big tall ones with the little, you put the phone on the top and replace with a Bluetooth module and maybe a QI wireless charger. That's very clever. The board is my own. The chip is KRC 86B based. Only chosen because I can get it onto PS Tools and customize it. Now, PS Tools, that's the doofer that you use for designing the printed circuit boards, isn't it? Now, what's the QI chargers though? They might radiate horrific RFI, yeah, probably. Nice magnifying headset there. Thank you very much. That was a gift from my late friend who had the TV shop. I'm trying to think when he gave that to me. I think he brought that back from the States. Because he used to have one in the shop, and then which I always admired, and he brought that back. Pretty sure that came back from America. You're a naughty cat. You're not the Messiah. You're a naughty cat. Well, go to bed. Just I'm staring at a random shed saying, well, yes, you see the camera does that. I'm using an OBS bot, which was very kindly donated to the channel by Joe King, who we seen earlier on the chat. Joe has been a massive supporter of the channel since it started. He also donated the wireless microphone setup as well, which works flawlessly once I keep the batteries charged. Thing about Rowney, the bass would likely knock the phone. Yeah, they're really good there. You got me thinking the next time I see one of them on a skip, I'll keep it. Oh, that's right. And I sent Rowney a motor for a record player. Guard record player, I think, was it? No, BSR. And yeah, I put it in the OBS box, along with a few stickers and things. Yeah, God, when was that? Last year, was it? That cat would love to chase a laser pointer. She sure would. Oh, she's off the head. Oh, it was BSR. Kept the box. It was a lovely box. PS Tools allows you to get into the chip and set the parameters. In my case, naming it Odds Pi, and so I see. So right, when you're connected to your phone, it comes up. I see. Okay, that's really interesting. I think I should come down and see your workshop around here. It sounds more better equipped than mine. Actually, we've no cowbell at the minute because the cowbell fell off the door the other day. The cowbell, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know, also lives on the front door of the TV shop in Swords. And I'm sure I've shown this picture to you many times before, but I'll show it once again. In the later days of the television shop. Come on, camera. Ooh. There we go. In the later days of the TV shop, I'd say that's probably 6 months or so before they closed. time goes by pretty quick. That's me in my Dublin bus uniform going to work on a Saturday afternoon. Don't do that anymore either. I was a bus driver for 8 years, but I just couldn't stick down round in circles anymore in the end. Anyway, I digress. It's bloody small, but the door is always open, boss. Ah, lovely. Thanks, Roundy. No, I'd say it's quite good. I always talk about not having enough space, which is developments will become apparent in the near future. But I have a 10-foot by 20-foot shed and a 20-foot shipping container. And have various things dotted in places that I shouldn't have them as well. So, you know, it's if you're a sensible person, you can make a small space work. Can I sit down now, Cat? Come on. I'm going to let Daddy sit down here now for a minute. And you can sit here, right, on my white coat. Settle down. Now, back to the live chat. 32 watching with 36 thumbs up. Thank you all. Thank you to everyone who gives me the thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. Chipmunk got his for £1 at a charity shop. This is obviously the iPhone docking station. No. Stop. 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 Think about what you're doing now, Cat. Yeah, just be normal. Now, where was I? Chipmunk was messing around with EPROMs and radios. Anybody else like me using a spare bedroom? As my mate says, well, the very start of my days I was using my bedroom. Well, that was a long time ago. I wasn't inviting young ladies into it then either. Chip, I think we need the cowbell back. Another month or 3 and we'll have the fencer to go with it. Yes, the fencer will be brought back into service. Radio sheep zapper. Ah, you gotta love that elf fencer. You know, in a couple of years, the fencer's going to be the only thing that's left on long wave. We've got Radio 4 going off now in March, which is going to be tragic. Bad enough losing Radio Ireland, but BBC Radio 4 always stops the auto-tune on the car in the van. Great signal here. That will be really missed. So yeah, we'll need a bloody good long wire for our old radios to get anything. Well, all that's left then is Algeria and Polski on 224. There won't be another reprieve apparently. People that know, I think Chipmunk is one of them actually. He was talking about the reporting the old time switches to people in the last live stream. We will still have 252. Yes, but it's not the same, Rob. They're speaking French for a start most of the time. I think they'll end up postponing 198 going off. They're not up to speed with the switching out the radios with tele switches. Yeah, I certainly hope that's the case. But what they might do is they might do what Alou did. So they'll keep the transmitter on, but they turn off the modulation. Most of the power goes into modulating it anyway. So it could be a blank carrier. Your radios are original but useless, hence the Bluetooth and FM add-ons. Around you just can't bring myself to the whole idea of it and all. But yeah, right, Jess, I know. Sensible word, business-minded people and whatnot. It is the way to go around. And that's what the French did. They turned off the modulation and left the and apparently the modulation is like 60-70% of the power. Well, it's both depending on the design of the transmitter, but yeah. I would agree too, but as I've said here before, and I will continue to say, we have to start putting our own transmitters on the air. The AM, like what they have in Holland, which I've said before here loads of times, they have 1 watt AM licenses in Holland, loads of them, loads of them. That's what we should be doing. We should be, whether we're licensed or not, we should be putting something on the air to listen to. I still keep them intact, and you go towards the Pantry TX idea. Yeah, well, that's the way I'd go too. But I do understand with RFI and everything, that's not always practical, um, which is understandable. But yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, it wouldn't bother me all that much. Now, would I bother myself personally? Probably not. But if someone come into me here and ask me to do AD and say, well, if they're willing to pay the money, I will, yeah. Someone's getting a bit sleepy. For emergency stuff, long wave especially, and it doesn't suffer from that sky fading effect that you have with a medium wave. I mean, long wave signal is there day and night, more or less. You don't get fading with long wave that you do with medium wave. It's madness. But JJ, you're not back to the problem with copyright and all that stuff. How many pirate stations have been done for copyright? It doesn't happen. There's pirate stations here. There's one that's on 24/7 up in Monaghan called what's it called? Northern Star or something. Star Country Radio. Star Country Radio have been on the air for years. 891. Is it? Or 981 kilohertz. That's what it is. It was right beside Radio 5 Live at 990. And there is a bit of splatter if you're not close enough to them. But they've been on for years. And will continue to be on for years. No one has touched them. Putting out, I think, 4 kilowatts on medium wave. And when you're up around Monaghan, it is a super signal. The same, another radio station comes on every weekend in Dublin. Hasn't been on in a little while. You ran into trouble with his area that blew down in the storm. But he comes on 13. He was coming on 1440 kilohertz. I'm not sure if he still is every weekend. He's been told that he's not going to be touched. Obviously, stays away from foul language, etc., etc. They don't care. They don't care about anything that happens below 30 megahertz once it doesn't interfere with official transmissions. Absolutely, I could never understand that either, Roundy. Especially for Australia, when you think, what is it, 2,000 miles from across, or 6,000 miles, ridiculous anyway, land mass. I think the land mass of Australia is 3 or 4 times that of the USA. They never use long wave. It's incredible. Unreal. Well, there's listeners out there, Jim, There's lunatics like ourselves that will be listening. That happens. I don't know, blood knows. I think you're obviously in America, so you might not be aware, but the Dutch do this. The Dutch Pirates, which I often played here on live streams, and there's be 5 or 6 stations comes on here, and they're just above the top of our medium wave band. So medium wave stops at around, I think it's 16, 11 kilohertz or something like that, but just up a little bit further, between sort of 1610 and 1680 kilohertz. Dutch Pirates come in, and sometimes what they do is they actually have QSOs on another, as well as playing music. And a lot of them play Dutch traditional music, which is sort of squeeze box music. It's quite good. Or they will play sort of 60s classics and all that kind of stuff. I haven't actually listened for quite a while. I must get a rig out again and have a tune around for our Dutch pirate friends. But well worth listening to. Very entertaining. But they do that. They have QSOs and stuff, these Dutch pirates. And they do get raided from time to time. But the Dutch, there seems to be a thing in the head of the Dutch people. They love medium wave radio and pirate radio. It's a big thing in Holland, and has been for quite a long time. 40 swing music would be a good station for a long wave. There is actually, I can't remember where I read it, and I can't remember the details of it either, which is typical for me. But someone has got a license for 252 kilohertz. In one of the Scandinavian countries, but it's only for, I think, 2 kilowatts. And of course, their problem is that they have to fight Algeria. Finland, that's right, Finland. So they're hoping that they'll get a frequency allocation, a change. But 252 apparently is allocated to Finland and Algeria and Ireland. So there's that's the problem. But I would hope that they would give them a blank space. 270 would be ideal. It would be that little bit more efficient with the aerial as well. But yeah, there is interest there. Actually, I don't know if many of you remember, but a couple of years ago, probably about 10, 12 years ago, there was a group that got together and they were going to set up a long wave station on the Isle of Man. And it was going to be a high-powered long wave station along the lines of what Atlantic 252 was. But and did they get that granted the license or something? They got so far with it, but then it died off because internet streaming and stuff was starting to gain traction, and it just wouldn't have made sense. But yeah, there is. Lunatics like us will listen to one another anyway, I'm sure. I'm sure if I was here tonight and I was sticking out a few watts on medium wave, and I was telling you to tune in here or there to see if you could hear me, I'm sure you would. I'm sure other people would too. Shortwave still has a bit of an interest. Trent University has an SDR on a mini whip, has great reception. Oh yes, the Radio Wales on medium wave. That yes, I would have listened to that in the car actually as well. This is the BBC Home Service on 1500 meters. Yes. Of course, useful time signal as well, and frequency standard in the day. I don't think they will know it, because even still, the interest is good. It's not on. The broadcasters want away from radio. They're not interested. Most of them here, and if Joe King was here, Joe King is a business. He supplies the transmitters and studio equipment to the majority of FM radio stations in Ireland. North and does a bit of work south as well, or south and does a bit of work north and in a small bit of work in the UK and that. And he would tell you that they are not interested. Any of these radio stations now want to concentrate on internet streaming, and if they could ditch their FM license tomorrow, they probably would. And he reckons in 10 years there'll be nothing on FM. Not for the fact that there's any governmental push off FM, but just for the fact that the commercial radio stations won't be interested. Yes, the high cost of electricity has had a massive impact. And I know from a couple of back and forwards emails I had with Manx Radio last year that the cost of the radio station and transmitter costs were the biggest problem, which is sad, but just a fact. Just a fact of life, I'm afraid. Is MSF rugby still going? That used to cover a vast area with 60 kilohertz and less than 20 kilowatts. I'm not sure. I know DCF is still going on 77 because the clock is keeping time in the house. They should run transmitters on solar panels. Well, that's what Radio Caroline is doing. They have a vast array of solar panels, and that's how they made the investment. And that's how they're doing. Radio Caroline, sometimes in the day and night, is a super signal here. I know in the morning, up before it gets bright, I can drive around the car and listen to Radio Caroline almost noise free in the morning. In the evening, it can be listened to, but with a bit of noise. And then in the day, nothing at all, or maybe just a carrier in the background. But they're looking to increase power all the time too, so it can only improve. Indeed. Where it will all end, nobody knows. Well, we know what it'll end. It'll end in a lot less than listened on the radio. But, as I say, if we take the law into our own hands to a certain extent, I don't see why we shouldn't. The means is out there. Those bloody stickers, yeah. I used to peel them off, but now I leave them on. They're part of the history of the set. Dab is finished. Dab never took off in the UK, in Ireland. And how successful it's going to be in the next 10 years in the UK is hard to know. I think it's, again, online streaming is the thing. People don't have radios in kitchens anymore. Have you noticed that? They walk in and they go, Alexa, play Radio 4. Alexa, play Radio this or that. That's what it does. FM doesn't use much power. It probably doesn't use as much power as the online streaming nonsense. Yes, my radio sometimes, my kitchen sometimes has a radio in it too. Well, we have a radio in the kitchen, but sometimes you have more than one radio in the kitchen. That's when the fiction starts. FM doesn't, but needs a lot more sites which add up. Indeed. Indeed. You're a happy little cat, aren't you? Yes. Ever since, yeah, I wouldn't get away with disassembling stuff on the kitchen table now. That. I did that at home as a younger fella, alright, but not now. Yeah, it's amazing. I didn't think the Echo was going to end up like that. Yeah, the old concert boys are a good set, alright. Although I like me Selena Vegas. They're quite good too. I have a lovely one here somewhere hidden. No, this is orders 500 from Alex in case they get 500 title rosters. That is good for static radios with a power supply, unless they're on the move. Yes. No bloody good on batteries. I have built a corner shelf for whichever one is on soak for any given time. So there's always a radio on the radio shelf running away. Currently a Murphy A186. Doesn't have long wave or AM at all. Oh, there. That is hopeless. It is. Lucky your FM. Odds nodge, how am I able to pick up that very well where I am? Tell me this, Rob. Are you on the top of Bellewstown Hill? Are you on the far side of Bellewstown, or whereabouts are you? Without giving me your address or your air code on the live stream. If you're on the top of the hill, you're probably getting it from the north, and you're almost line of sight. So it's not a massive shock. Yeah, exactly, Chipmunk. Dab had great potential had they just not tried to shove so much. The old saying goes, you can't fit a pint into a quart pot. And that's exactly what they tried to do with Dab. The Offer Nest site used, well, it was the old World Service site. Used to beam medium wave on 648 into Europe. Quart into a point pot odds nods. Oh, well, that would make more sense, yes. Quart, I got it. You can fit 2 points in a quart pot. Of course you can. It's been a long week. And then you get shit like that thrown at you. Oh, shit. You can't say anything wrong in this chat. They won't let you away with it, you know. Oh. I only figured out recently that News Talk, Irish Talk Radio, broadcasts in mono. Must be some cost saving somewhere. They don't need stereo, to be fair. I can tell you exactly what that is, Roundy. And our very own Joe King of our channel, who comes in here, he was the one who recommended that they not be stereo. The reason being was, at the time of their launch, they wanted to have nationwide coverage, but they weren't granted a nationwide license. They were only granted licenses for the big cities, Cork, Dublin, Galway. Think they're on air in Limerick as well. Maybe somewhere else, I don't know. But Joe King suggested to them that if they went mono, the effective range would be further because you wouldn't get hiss and breakup that you would get on stereo. And that's why, that is why News Talk is the only commercial radio station in the Republic of Ireland that transmits in mono. So there you are. Very interesting. I thought that was very clever when he told me that. And he supplies all the transmitters to News Talk. There you go. Our Joe King is now Phil. Another thing he told me is that there could be another all-Irish FM radio station sponsored by the state coming to FM at some stage. I haven't asked him about that in a while. I don't know if it's still running or not, but he was consulting on that. Sounds like a bloody dead herring. Anyway, because that's what the young people want to do in 2025 is listen to Irish on FM, even though most of them don't have a radio. 90% of under 25s don't own an AM or FM radio. They stream on their phone. Anyway, yeah, that's true. But look at that throw sort of, 100 million or something like this. I know, Roundy. What a nonsense. But yeah, he was asked to consult on it. The stuff that you learn on such a fringe YouTube channel is incredible. The BBC World Service is where I learned Diana had died. I can remember that morning well. I got up a bit late. I can remember it well, yeah. Sunday morning. Went down, turned on the television, and usually there'd be a test card on or something. That was shite on a Sunday morning. But turned on the BBC, and there was coverage, news. And Diana had died, and pictures of the car mangled and all that kind of shit. Yeah. 97, wasn't it? I think. Just settled down for the night and got a newsflash during Job Hall Nest program. Yeah. This isn't fringe, it's proper. Oh, thank you very much, Bruno. I was listening to it live. I used to listen to the radio to get to sleep. In the old days, the BBC used to turn off the stereo when the program was mono. But that stopped in the 80s, I think. I can get all those here as well, and I'm at the bottom of the hill. So, um, yeah, you get them up there, all right. What you want to do, Rob, is get an FM Yagi area and point it out towards the sea and see what you can get from over there. You'll definitely get Manx radio and FM up there. I know that because I get it in the car. It's not strong enough to bring in the RDS, but you can definitely hear Manx radio and FM on at the top of Belgus downhill. You should get a mini whip. Well, yes, or build one roundy. But yes, a mini whip would be ideal actually. I just off the top of my head, Rob, I can't tell you what the frequencies are for Manx radio on FM. But if you Google them, it'll tell you. I think it's around 100 and splash, 102.7 maybe for the FM service that we can get here. Can't get it down here at the bottom of the hill, but if you're at the top of the hill, you can definitely get it. Sleepy cat. I'll put you to bed now in a minute. The disgusting of Tunbridge Wells right to the Daily Mail. So, I write to you great concern regarding the lack of stereo transmission. We went to great expense going to Curry's to buy our what would it be? Dynatron stereo tuner. And we were horrified when the voice programme from the BBC ended that the stereo pilot lamp did not re-illuminate when they started playing music. And some such. In green ink. Good man, Rob, you have it back going, so. The stereo light was not lit. I was shocked. And quite frankly, sickened. Manx 1368 is a super signal here. And there's now they're looking at getting rid of the 1368. But for the moment, it has switched and it is now called Manx Radio Gold, playing classic songs, which I have recently started streaming in work, Bluetoothedly to the radios of the speakers of the workshop, and it's quite a good signal. I used to listen to YouTube music, but when they started sticking ads in the middle of songs, I had to give up. Odge, did you pick up on the dust up between Mendick Market? Yes, I did. We discussed this earlier on. We'll get back to that. I'll be back in a minute. The cat is in charge of the cat will probably follow. Now, I'm back. Catch you. What did the cat do when I was gone? More cowbell. No cowbell. Need to start the... Now, where were we? Odge, yes. Did you pick up? Yes. I did indeed. I thought... I don't want to say too much about it because there's two sides to every story. And in things like this, things get sensationalized or whatever. One side can be left out. However, I thought that the treatment of Mark on his YouTube channel by said company was very unfair, to be quite honest. But it seems he's gotten out the better of it anyway. Strange, isn't it? At the radio far, but worse, it was gone. Thought the end of the world had come. They actually pulled over on the radio and Google it. Engineering worker. The cat is in charge. The camera knows. Oh, obviously the camera zoomed on cat. Yes. Cattle vision. Oh, cowbell. The cowbells will have to be replaced on the door where they belong. Sofas that look for plumes as well. I will use this opportunity to put my clothes in the dryer. I think that's an old electric bill under the hacksaw, I think. What the hacksaw? Electric bill? I don't know. Anyway, censorship, not copyright. I'm inclined to agree. I'm going to say, Rob, your man is a charlatan. The only ones worse than him are the ones paying 25 grand for a poor DOE quality equipment. I wish I could get away with it, but yes, I'm inclined to agree, Roundy. I don't know where you got Rob from either, but yeah, it's unreal what's going on out there. Of course, he's going to obviously be upset that someone is opening up his gear and showing it to the world. Had he said nothing, you know, whatever, how many of our viewers that Mark would have got on that video, probably 100,000 or whatever views, that's all they would have known. Now half the world knows. So, let me see. Carl Stock, hello, Oddjones and everyone. Just got a Ferguson MCO1 TV monitors, Tonner TX90, super. Has RG Dan, great little thing, works great with music. TX90, probably one of the best jokes that Ferguson ever made. Would you agree, Kevin? Have you out? I think he's into that kind of shit. The support he got was second to none. Unreal. To be fair, he only wanted 5k to replace the tantalum. I think that was including the repair to the cabinet as well. You know, perspex isn't perspex is expensive. You know. Someone said here, speaking about infringement laws and so forth and so on. Somebody said woofle here earlier on. Now, we can't actually use that term here. That is copyrighted. We can't use the word woofle here because that is protected by Big Clive at the.com. Now, ordinarily, I would let out a sort of a odge-nodge tamed flame, but I don't think in the presence of the cat that's a super idea. Might freak the cat out. The cat might attack the television and stuff and go down in tears. They call that the Streisand effect, where said singer tried to suppress negative commentary online and the whole place started talking about it. Indeed. Big Clive does not copyright Woofle. He might, you know, he might get a, what you call it, takedown notice or whatever. You just don't know. Oh, by the way, you know, AliExpress is such a wonderful selling site and so forth. Look at this little torch I got for €2, right? And come back, camera, right? It does this. This isn't my work case, by the way. Sometimes you're in the dark. Right? Little torch, dim little torch, then flashing little torch. Ooh. Then little torch on the side. Then red and blue flashing torch. And then apparently this is a UV light for looking at money. But I'm not so convinced. And it glows in the dark. The Chinese. They are wonderful. Whoomp. Yes, we could go with that. And no doubt another $5 for the next one. That's one of the things I was wondering. When I see in that video, and you open it up, and you see these loads of tantalum capacitors. Why is he using tantalum capacitors in the first place? Everyone knows that shit. Now I know in certain places they have their uses, but decent quality 105 degree low ESR electrolytics surely would be the way to go with a thing like that. The Chinese make some good stuff. The Chinese are just a wonderful race of people. Not to mention the music that they put out in shortwave, which is just second to none. A microscope. Oh, very good. So anyway, yes, now Mendes Mark has come out the better of all this anyway, and only rightly so, I think. Come on, Cat. Come on. Let Daddy sit down. They're getting a bit too fond of this crack, man. We're gonna call it cattle vision now soon enough. Don't stop your messing. SMD is getting smaller. Yeah. It's pretty teeny weeny now. Wouldn't mind getting into the SMD stuff myself. Probably in 40 years when it's vintage. BPSUs have been recapped, though not by me. Lots of add-ons, including a Raspberry Pi co-processor. So funny having that in there, especially as the ARM prototype was an add-on for the Babe. Rob, funny you should say that. Just a couple of weeks ago, I bought a telescope. Nothing but thick clouds ever since. I've transposed my stuff onto SMD, just waiting for the balls to come home. Give it a go. Anyway, very good roundy. No more through hole for roundy. Stuff I build is mostly point-to-point wiring, so no SMD for me. Yes, nice and simple. I'd like an optical one, not one of those LCD TV ones. Optical ones give stereo vision, yeah. LCD ones give, yeah, it's all 2D. If he uses a chip, it's a 545 or 4000 series, which can be done on VeroWire. With 28 watching with 39 thumbs up. You just want to see markings. The cheap ones are probably okay. Yeah, haven't seen much of that. Yeah, let's look into the old microscopes. What I did do was get a bunch of PCBs made by JLC, populate them, replacement timer PCBs for bathroom fans. Dead fans are almost always the PCB. Ah, very good. Almost all fans use the exact same timer circuit. Kev B is here as well. We have the two Kevins here now. We have Kevy Wevy Will, Kev B. I always say it. I'd love the two of them to say they'd have a great time together. Talking electronics and stuff. Isn't that right, Cat? Good girl, good to have you aboard, Kev B. JLT are way better value than PCB Ray. Ah. Carl Stock. Your cat is lovely, by the way. Ah, thank you. Yes, Jenny. Jenny now is probably 4 months or thereabouts. It's getting time to be neutered soon. Yes. After Christmas. You're going to go in and have a little operation after Christmas, aren't you? Yeah. Good girl. I'm officially getting new clutch in car at 36k. Ah, Kevy B. Who's driving the car? One thing about microscope, if you're reflowing ICs with hot with air close up, yeah. We are all about saving customers money. It gets us more money in the long run, absolutely. Spade, you know what I mean. Yes. You only get your bits taken away. That's the important thing. You're not bringing around naughty tomcats. Yes. Oh yes, I know that, yeah. Well, I know that from a cat we had when I was a child. So no, we'll be waiting a while. And she's not out in general population anyway at the minute. We're keeping her locked in for a few more months. I don't want her out and about just yet. She's just a little bit too young, I think. So no, we probably will be. I'd say she'll be at least 6 months before we go near her. I tend to go light on clutches. I am worried about the thrust bearing. Oh, there's a man from the 1920s, if ever there was one. Oh, great. Do I not want more kittens? No. One kittens is enough kittens for John Joe. You see the hassle the cheese causing. She's after knocking down me 100-watt iron. That's an antique cat. You know 100-watt. 75 watts. I wonder will I ever press that into service again. Who knows? Transmec, never heard of them. LUK, I've put, they make truck and bus clutches, or big clutches, I should say. So yeah, Transmec I never heard of. 75-watt iron for soldering earth to chassis. That's the only time it's ever used. Reflowing the earth braiding to variable capacitors. I probably plugged it in probably 3 times in the last 10 years. But you see, you have to have it for when you need it. I should train my cat to solder. Oh, train my cat to stay away from solder now will be about as good as it's going to get. Thrust bearings just get noisy when they go bad. They still work. 250 watt iron. Ooh. The upside down telly on the bench, Kev, is one you'll be familiar with. It's a Bosch TV 62. Oh yes. So we're halfway through it. We have no sound, brightness or contrast, and so far the usual, Kev. There's nothing wild or exciting with it. But a couple of years ago, I'm gonna say 4 years ago now, at least. It was in the midst of the pandemic, or just before it. I was restoring one of these for the Hurdy Gurdy Radio Museum in Howth, County Dublin, based in the Martello Tower. Anyway, said television was restored to working order and delivered back to a museum. But Mrs. Odgenodge said how she liked the cabinet stylings of the Bosch TV 62. So at the MVCF, a number of years later, we had the opportunity to purchase one at a reasonable price. I think it was 50 or 60 pounds. It wasn't mad money, because they do go for strong money at times. And yes, it came home with us, and it sat in various corners since. So I thought, it was Christmas time when I did the Bosch TV 62 video all those years ago. I thought, Christmas time again, put the little Bosch on the bench and get it working once again. So that's what we've done. And so far we've been relatively successful. So part 3, I think, should be coming out this week when I get a bit more time. So I want to make as a display unit. The CRT was gassy. You have one with the same chassis though, don't you? I think you have a TV 53 or some such. I think I've seen on your YouTube channel quite some time ago. Wonderful sets. I love the two. I love the layout of these. I love how robustly made they are. How they use the Paxton tag strips. Everything is straightforward in front of you. Not the easiest to walk in this cabinet, granted, but a super chassis, loads of ventilation. Never give trouble. TV 53, the slightly different tag board on the scan chassis, that's right. And I think that's magnetically focused, whereas this is this is electrostatically focused. But more or less the same television, yes. And yeah, just I think Bush knew what they were at back then. They started to go downhill a little bit after that, and then as time went by, they went downhill a bit more, and then they built pieces of shit like this, really downhill. It's gas to think both these sets are by Bush, you know, with what 22 or 3 years in the difference. It's amazing to look at how technology changed in that length of time. No, analog broadcast finished here in 2012. It is indeed an AA23 Kev, which I've been meaning to get back to for a long time. But I'm saving it now. I'm going to get back to it, but it's going to be another little while. But There's reasons why, which will become apparent in time. Got one somewhere very low hours, but currently has a power supply issue. Well, there's not much to go wrong with the power supplies on them. At least they're straightforward. You'll get to the bottom of it quick enough. I thought Shango's LA stations were gone now. I thought they closed down last year. Nice set to have, Kev. You won't let that go. I remember analog switch off too. We were watching it in the TV shop as they knocked off all the transmitters. AM is still alive and well in the US, though. Shite can't. Yeah, I haven't watched Shango in a bit in a while either. It all get a bit samey in the end, doesn't it? Kev Bay, that's a sickener. The only thing is, at least you know you have a good clutch in it now, and it'll probably see you out. Indeed, yeah. I got that, Kev, yeah. Riding the clutch. Terrible, isn't it? 26,000 miles. He did 2 little transistor radios. To be fair, Shango was a bit too disrespectful to vintage stuff, which is why I stopped watching. Yeah. Well, I suppose the thing is, over there's probably so much of it still around, they don't care, you know? Whereas here, the supply is a little bit tighter. Yeah. Anyway, it is 11:45. I better call it a night. Jeez. Right, I gotta. Like the months they got going and the Philco predictors. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff over there. You want to inhale capacitors. Good Christmas to all. Yes, at the end of the day, he's making content for a living. Exactly. Nice chat, lads. Have a good week. Merry Christmas. That's how you get capacitor smoke. I like a bit of capacitor smoke here. No, right. I'm going to pull the plug. Good night, everyone. Thank you all for coming into the chat tonight. It's been good. You're super. Thanks to me fan funding people, which was Rob's radio channel and the studio workshop. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you to all my contributors in the live stream tonight. Which were in no particular order: Blood Nose, Noel Conway, Jim Simpson, Kevy B, Kevy Wevy Woo, Neil's Radio, Richard 100, White Sapphire, Rob's Radio channel, Neil's Radios, Roundy Mooney, the Chipmunk, Joe King, and I'm sure there's a few more there that I've knocked off since. So thank you all very much, and we'll catch you in the next one. Right, lads. Thanks very much. Good luck. That one.